Hey everyone, I hope your day is going well. If not, that sucks, I guess. I hope it gets better. I'm here to talk shit, as per usual. Overwatch isn't a fun game, whether it be the balance or community. This video is centered on the people who play it and the community, not really the balance of the actual game. I'm starting off with a disclaimer. It's the internet, I know, people are anonymous. They're gonna be shitheads. I do think that if you can't handle the internet, it's probably better to not be on it. Hence why I completely deleted almost all social media for a while when my life was going to shit. It's pretty easy to remove yourself from the situation in most cases. Unfortunately, Overwatch is not one of those cases. It's a team-based game where voice chat is sometimes needed to coordinate your efforts and secure a win. You can turn match and voice chat off, but that makes it a little harder to win as you can't receive vital information from your teammates. That being said, I don't really understand why people have to be shitheads. When you flame someone, the likelihood of it helping them to do better is near zero, unless they have some sort of weird kink. The reality is that the person probably knows that they're playing terribly. I know I certainly do. Sometimes you just have those days, the ones where your shots aren't landing by some mysterious force. You keep making stupid decisions despite knowing you're making them. Your teammates are just playing like their brains are on unpaid sick leave. Yet unfortunately, we're all stuck playing this awful game because deep down, we like it. Or maybe we're just addicted. Who knows? And don't even get me started on how different ranks affect how much people respect you as a human. It's crazy because it's literally a video game. You dogging on me because I peaked silver 2 and am currently bronze is interesting because I know I don't base my self-worth on a game that I have a whole 350 hours on, most of which are on quick play. Of course I'm bronze. I haven't played anything besides free roam games before this, which I got good at around 2k hours, mind you. I see it all the time, and I've mentioned it in the past, that metal rank players aren't allowed to speak on anything without being shut down. I have literally commented on, unrelated TikTok posts, just replying to people or whatever, and I will have my fucking Overwatch rank mentioned. It's insane. I had a jam player who was insisting that mauga and Orisa weren't oppressive tanks. I personally don't think she's as bad as everybody says, but the entire community talks about how hard she is to kill, so I'm assuming that my experience is way different than others. It's the same with mauga. When streamers like Flats, Emong, Metro, Frogger, all decently high-ranked players, are among the many claiming him to be overpowered, I promise it isn't a low-ranked take. Being GM doesn't mean your takes are always good, of course, but when it's a 2-to-1 ratio of mauga dislikers to mauga enjoyers... A lot of GM players have really big egos being at the top. I had a conversation with one who said Ana counters mauga. Yeah, Anti does counter him, and that would make JQ a good counter. And she is. But Kiriko exists, Baptiste exists, Lifeweaver exists. All ways to get out of Anti. The other team won't just let you roll him. They're gonna counter swap. Hence why everyone is talking about Ana and Kiriko being meta right now, because it's hard to play anyone else with him. To assume that a character having one counter makes them awful and weak despite their various other problems is an interesting take. I'm not claiming to say that my game knowledge is better or even close to that of a Grandmaster player. However, having common sense is a wonderful gift. Anyways, just wanted to talk about how much Overwatch players suck. I'm not surprised that the game's dying so bad between the shitty updates, being unwelcoming to new players, quick play being sweaty, and as intense as competitive for some reason. The list really goes on. And believe me, I get the anger. I get as frustrated as the next person when I and or my team plays terribly, especially after I started taking testosterone. It never happened before, but now I promise I do get it. Treating people like garbage doesn't make anything better. Although I do think there's a bit to be said about being toxic back, because, if you're toxic, you just kind of open yourself up to that. You kind of deserve the energy to be returned, so if it's in response, I don't really care as much. But, yeah, that's it. Being awful is kind of boring, and you're more likely to win if you don't really act like a pill. That's all. Bye-bye. I had a GM player who was insisting that mauga and Orisa weren't oppressive tanks. I truly don't think Orisa is as awful as people say, but again, I'm bronze, so my experience may be different. However, almost the entire community talks about how hard she is to kill. It's the same with mauga. When streamers like Flats, Emong, Metro, Frogger, all decently high-ranked players, are among the many claiming him to be overpowered, I promise it isn't just a low-ranked tank. I promise it isn't just a low-ranked take. Being GM doesn't mean your tanks are... Right, I'm going to just restart that section. I had a GM player who was insisting that mauga and Orisa weren't oppressive tanks. Personally, I don't think Arisa is as awful as people say, but again, I'm brought to my experience may be different, and I'm also listening to the people that say she is. However, almost the entire community talks about how hard she is to kill. I'm gonna shoot myself. GM players have the biggest ego, being at the top, of course. I had a conversation with one who said in it, oh my god. I'm not claiming to say that my game knowledge is better, or even close to that of a Grandmaster player. However, hamming... What the fuck is a hamming?